be here. Uh-oh. That's great. Testing, testing. Hello. We are looking for you. Let's move that out of the way. Interesting. Yes. Not sure. Let's figure it out. All right, we're gonna get started in 1 second. We gotta get some more guests on the stage, so just bear with us as we get that figured out. StreamYard. Let me go this way. We are live. I'm in the studio. Well, uh, huh, they usually pop up down here, but they're not popping up. So let's do this. Let's send them another invite. Another invite. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to hit invite. I want you to copy it. All right, hit the home button. Okay, and let's go. Oh. Do. Thank you. I wonder what the deal is. Huh. Nope, that's not going to work either. So let's try something else. So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and start. And I want you all to go ahead and start asking the questions because we're already in. Go ahead and start with the intro. Go ahead and start with Dr. Murphy, and we'll work on bringing in our other guests. Sound like a plan? All right, let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Central Middle School Podcast, where we dive into all things learning, creativity, and inspiration. I'm your host, Joseph Gabby, and Shiraya, and today we have some incredible guests who are here to talk about something that impacts every one of us now.
Joining us today, we have Dr. Murphy, the coordinator of elementary math, who works hard to support every teacher and make math fun for all students. We also have Mr. Mathieu and Mr. Siggles, the co-owners of Evolytes. Is that how you say it?
I think we'll wait when they come on. We'll ask them. I think it's right, but we'll wait and ask them when they come on.
Okay. A super cool math tool that's helping elementary school students improve their math skills with technology.
This episode will learn how technology is changing the way we learn math, why early math education is so important, and how tools like Evolytes are making learning easier and more fun for kids.
So let's jump right into the conversation.
These are Evolytes math questions.
Okay, so don't look at the Evolytes questions. Go ahead and look at the questions for Dr. Murphy. They would probably be on the other side.
Dr. Murphy, can you tell us a little bit about your role as the coordinator of elementary math and what you do to support teachers and students?
Well, I oversee the development and implementation of the math curriculum, and that includes providing professional development development for teachers and collaborating with teachers for their needs and how they can best serve their students.
How do you see technology like Evolytes fitting into the classroom and helping teachers teach math more efficiently?
So technology tools like Evolytes, and I would like to ask too how to say that. It can provide an engaging and interactive learning experience, in my experience, right? Technology tools can be used for differentiation. So being able to find where the students are in their learning, personalizing their learning, and giving them that immediate feedback, like the instant gratification. And so by incorporating this technology in the classroom, teachers can make math accessible and students can enjoy it.
In your experience, what do you think is the biggest challenge for elementary students when learning math?
So one of the biggest challenges is developing a strong number sense, just those fundamental skills, and those are essential for success. And to address the challenges, teachers could focus on providing more opportunities for students to explore number relationships, counting, and using manipulatives to solve problems.
How important is it for students to have a strong foundation in math at an early age, and how can tools like Evolytes help with that?
So a strong foundation in math at an early age, starting as soon as kids can count with their fingers or with objects, is crucial for future academic success. Tools like Evolytes can help by providing, again, those engaging and interactive activities to build number sense and to build problem-solving skills and just an overall positive attitude toward math.
What kind of feedback have you heard from teachers about using math tools like Evolytes in their classrooms?
So teachers have reported that text tools can help improve student engagement, which you've heard me say quite a few times, and motivation. You know, students like the tech, and so they can get those students engaged. They also noted that the tools allow them to tailor instruction based on the student's individual needs.
What are some key math skills that you think all elementary students should master, and how does technology support that learning?
Well, I think they should master all the skills, but you know how that is. But number sense is basically one of that foundational skill, and algebraic thinking with missing numbers, just thinking outside of that linear box. And technology tools can support this learning by providing opportunities for practice, exploration, and visualizing what these skills look like.
How do you think technology can help make math more accessible and less intimidating for students who might struggle with the subject?
So technology can make math more accessible by providing a variety of learning modalities, such as visual. You can visually see it, which is where we want to start math, right? And where you can see it and manipulate it. Auditory, you can hear it. Those kinesthetic, moving pieces around. So those variety of learning modalities technology can provide. It also provides an opportunity for self-paced learning. A lot of times students may get lost in the day-to-day whole group lesson, and then it gives them that immediate feedback, that instant gratification. Oh, I got it right. And they see a green light pop up, and they know that whatever they did it correctly. Or if they don't, and they see something red pop up, and then they know, oh, I need to rethink what I did, rethink my strategies. And these things can boost the confidence of students.
What are some common mistakes you see in how math is taught in elementary level, and how can we improve those teaching methods?
I might get in trouble for this, but because old school, right? The common mistake is the over reliance of rote memorization. When I was, back in the dinosaur days when I was in school, we learned our multiplication table by rote, right? But with no development of that concept. So, in addition to rote memory, I'm not saying rote memory is wrong. I'm saying we should supplement that with developing the conceptual understanding of it and putting problem solving skills behind that. Another common mistake is the lack of differentiation, right? If students, people learn at all different paces and levels. So we need to start differentiating our lessons, right? And by using technology and other strategies, teachers can tailor those instructional pieces to meet the diverse needs of all learners.
Do you think tools like Evolytes can help bring the gap for students who might be behind in math? If so, how?
I think tech tools can help provide targeted instruction. Because if you are having issues with multiplication, you may be having issues with addition and subtraction, I can target those with a tech tool. It also provides practice for the students, who are struggling. And it provides an opportunity to work at your own pace.
We're going to hold off for 1 second. We're going to see if we can bring the other guests on.
Okay.
So if you can just give me 1 second, we're going to change this around. Let's change this to front camera. Turn it around like that. What we got? Now we got them in there. I just want to see if the guests or the layout for the guests will change with changing the camera. Usually we get something that says someone's in backstage, but we're not seeing that. So we're trying to troubleshoot to figure out why that's happening. So give us 1 second. Matthew, hold your horses. We're trying to figure it out still. Just want to make you aware. I'm wondering if it has something to do, because usually when we do this, you usually pop up on the screen to let us know that someone is backstage. But there's nothing popping up for us this time, and we're not able to figure it out as of yet. We're going to keep trying. We'll let you guys keep going until we figure it out. Go ahead.
All right.
If you could give advice to students who might find math difficult, what would it be?
So my advice to students who might find that is to persevere. Find that grit and keep going, right? Believe in yourself and have that growth mindset. I can't do it yet, right? The power of yet. Math is a subject that takes practice and patience. You have to be patient with yourself.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. That's how I struggled with math when I was in high school. And I had a teacher that
taught me, and I asked questions, and I got shot down. I taught you that already. Okay. I advocated for myself, and I got myself out of that class because I needed someone to answer my questions, ask questions, and seek help. So I sought help. I went down to the school president and I said, I need a new teacher. I need help because I'm struggling. I don't want to fail this class. And so do that. If you can't seek help from your teacher, seek help from your classmates or both. And remember that you learn at your own pace. You'll get it eventually. And with hard work and dedication, you can achieve all your math goals or any other goals that you have.
What's your favorite part of working in math education and technology?
Seeing the students engaged. seeing them, and teachers too. You see the enjoyment in the teachers' eyes when they either learn how to use the tech, or they see the students using the tech, and both teacher and students are engaged, which makes math accessible.
If you could have a superpower to help kids learn math better, what would it be?
Ooh. I would just pour everything they need to know about math in their brain and how to apply it. Not just those basic skills, but how can I apply what I'm learning? So yeah.
I'm a back to up with that. I'm a like, when you said about the superpower thing. It won't be fun learning if you already know the stuff. It's fun when you're learning to think than learning what's it called already know the thing.
Okay.
That's
So not just learning it, but then I said, I want you to apply it, right?
yeah.
So you have the knowledge in there, but now how do you use it?
Helping other people learn.
Yeah. So I want to pour the knowledge into you, but now I want you to use that. Build things. Make the world a better place. I can't do that. That would be you. I can give you the skills, but now you use those skills. I can give you a tool, like a hammer and a nail as a wood. Now I want you to build something with that.
If you were a math problem, what kind of problem would you be just for fun?
If I was a math problem.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I can tell you my favorite math problem. What is it? 7 times 7. Okay. 49. And 7 is the power of completion, number of completion. So if I multiply that by itself, you know.
What's one thing you wish more students knew about math and learning in class?
Hey, there we are.
It takes time.
All right, we're gonna add them in because we finally got them in. It looks like it's all Miss Cook's fault, of course. It looks like what we did is I must have sent them the wrong link because, you know, it's special like that sometimes. So thank you all for asking the question.
Greetings, everyone. It's never anything digital without any slight technical problems, right?
Audible and change your thought process and see how you can bring in our other guests as well. Yeah, you can put it.
Can you put it on the big screen so I can see it?
Actually, we can, but it's gonna take a minute. And we don't have much time. So as we're doing that, I want you to just, see if you can, and I'll add them. But this is what I'll do. I'll add them to this computer so you can see it, because it'll take us longer to do the other. I can do that just real quick. Okay, go ahead. We'll get you going though. But say hello to everyone. All right, so Dr. Murphy, thank you so much for answering all those questions, because basically we went through all the questions with Dr. Murphy. And we still want to keep Dr. Murphy involved in the conversation as well, because this is amazing. So could one of you please introduce our guest? Other guest.
We have some new guests joining us today, Mr. Mathieu and
Mr. Siggles, perfect. And they had a question about your company. What's your question?
How do you pronounce the name?
Yeah, so that's a very good question, and you actually had it right the whole time. So in English, you would pronounce it Evolytes. We have a slightly different pronunciation over here in Iceland. So both are technically correct, but yeah, Evolytes, absolutely. It's the way to go.
Okay, and so wait.
What is Evolytes and how does it help elementary school students with math?
All right, Mathieu, you want me to start us off, and then you jump in for the second half?
Yeah. You grab this one, Siggi.
All right. So Evolytes is basically a trident, a three-pronged fork. So we have our books, and they help kids learn the math. then we have our game. And the game helps you practice all the math and do a whole bunch of fun stuff. And then we have our informational system for teachers, which lets them track the progress of all students in real time. And as for how it helps, Mathieu, why don't you jump in for that?
Pardon me 1 second before you go any further. We
Yeah.
had our announcements to start because it's already working that way. We're going to go for a commercial break for 1 second. We're going to play a commercial and we'll come back to it, okay? Give us 1 moment. All right, we are back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so to pick up where Siggi left off, Evolytes really is a combination of 3 products based on psychology research. And really the core of our platform is our high quality game, which rivals the games children play for fun. That's where the students develop fluency and where we can really get them engaged, as Dr. Murphy already put so eloquently.
What inspired you to create a math tool specifically for younger students, and why is math so important to focus on in early education?
Oh, that's a really good question. So Evolytes kind of happened by accident, if I'm being honest. I was doing interdisciplinary research. A lot of the AI tool, or a lot of the education tools today want to talk about AI, but I actually come from a computer science, game, and psychology background. And Siggi and I are both from the generations where everybody was, telling us how bad video games are, right? So we thought, I did a lot of studies around, what are the power of games? How can we make them? What can we really do through games? And I was doing research on how to make games engaging and why kids actually find them engaging and what kind of patterns they have and why they don't kind of act like psychology would tell you, like dogs and pigeon research. But I was doing that for a couple of years. And then, my sister is struggling with math. She has exactly the same problem I had, except I had them 10 years before. And I was actually quite shocked because she had the same books that were published 12 years ago. But she was very smart. She realized that if she just answered something that was correct, the teachers would let her go because she was nice in class. And it turns out, I was actually quite shocked. She actually had 2 or 3 years of worth of learning gap. So I thought to myself, okay, I ended up tutoring her. And I thought to myself, all of this research I'd been doing on video games and how I can make that practice and that creating that number sense and creating fluency early on, how could make that more fun and engaging? Because math is a lot like sports. If you've never done the practice or the work, you're not going to get there. So if you've never run 5K, you're going to have to start with 1K. So what we ended up is developing Evolytes, and it kind of started from there in research, in experiments at the university level.
How does Evolytes make learning math more fun and interesting?
All right. I mean, that's another just great question. I like to think it's because when we're having fun, we kind of forget everything else. And that's one of the main things we try and emphasize a lot is just having fun. The way we've built Evolytes and, one of the main purposes for it is so that kids can get engaged in having fun and then learning math at the same time. And some of them have so much fun that they kind of just forget that they're learning and they just fly through the problems like they're not a problem, which is great. And that's what we want. And we've just tried our best to cram the game and the platform as a whole full of entertainment, stories that you can reveal, and secrets to find, treasure, and all sorts of good stuff that you can spend all of your time trying to uncover, while at the same time just immersing yourself in a whole bunch of math. And yeah, I mean, I find it a whole lot of fun, and I'm pretty sure the kids do too. That's at least what we've been hearing.
What are some of the unique features of Evolytes in that set it apart from other math tools or apps?
I think what sets us really apart is we have completely the opposite approach to what we do compared to most of the other products out there that are tackling primary math. Instead of trying to make math interesting through mini games or games single off that try and make the math as interesting as possible, we do completely the opposite, where we created a universe and a game that's so captivating for the students that they will answer as much math as possible to progress through the game. And with that positive association, we've seen that we managed to make even the most negative students positive towards math. And by getting them to level, that's really where we can see those students grow. So that's kind of what sets us apart. And we do have quite a unique integration with our books and games. So once you finish a chapter in the book, which are very concise, they're mostly designed to teach new concepts in a very simple manner. You have QR codes at the end of each chapter, which you scan. But actually, yeah, Siggi's got one over there. And what's going to happen is you're going to go through a chapter-based exam, if you will, but it gives you super lucrative rewards in the game. And what happens is that the students actually want to learn in the books, and it kind of also immerses them in this universe that we've built, because they can learn a lot about the animals, which are teaching them new concepts in math and how to actually better catch them, or some of those stories. It kind of all links together in this universe that we've built. So that kind of sets us apart. But on the more scientific and more educational side is the 6 psychological principles that we use to improve learning outcomes and attitude. And we've seen in numerous studies that we can double the proficiency of students in 6 to 8 weeks on average, especially on an intervention basis.
Can you tell us about a success story where Evolytes really helped the students improve their math skills?
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to cover 2 quick ones, actually, because I think these are my favorites. So since Mathieu was mentioning the books, we actually had a severe problem, in air quotes, when we first launched our first book, The Adventure Begins, here in Iceland. And it was because students liked this book so much, they were actually stealing it from school to take it home and finish it at home, because they wanted the treasure at the end of each chapter, and they thought they were being very slick, like, ooh, I'm breaking the rules, I'm gonna study some more at home. I think we have a word for that. I think it's called homework. You know, you might have heard of it. But then I think one of my other favorite problems is that we're kind of a small country. There's not a lot of people in Iceland, but the country, you know, small people but a big country. We got a call from the north once. A teacher called us, and she was quite angry. And she was like, "We have a very serious problem here." And we were like, "Oh no! Like, what's the problem? How can we help you, ma'am?" And she was like, "Well, this is, you know, very serious. We have a bunch of first graders here, you know, and they're doing multiplication. I mean, what is happening here? They've gone so far ahead of all the other students in this school. I don't know what to do." And then we were like, again, is that technically a problem? Like, aren't we just dealing with a bunch of just super geniuses here? Shouldn't we just give them a round of applause? You know, so we've had some fun and interesting things happen to us, you know, over here with all these kids. Just, you know, when they get the chance to excel, oh boy, will they.
So
Yeah.
all right, give me 1 second. Our students are going to have to move on to their next class, but I definitely want to let the conversation keep going, and I also want you to get a chance to share your tool so that we can actually have the recording to share with all the rest of our teachers. Like right now, other classes, we have some of our other math classes are watching this as well. So I want them to see it, and I want them to be able to either give you some feedback later to let you know what they think of your tool as well. So I thought that that would be nice to do. Do you have any questions, Dr. Murphy, in regards to what they've seen, what you've seen or heard so far? Okay, okay. And so you're more than welcome to stay and finish it out and see what they see what it looks like. I can't wait to see what it looks like. I met these guys. It's been about 6 months or so ago in San Diego, and we just hit it off. We sat and talked for hours in regards to just making education better. So I just, really enjoy the conversations and just really like seeing young people doing great things. So, um, Mr. Cabby, thank you so much. Raya, thank you so much for actually changing everything you needed to do on the fly, staying with it, going through the questions. Dr. Murphy, you two did a phenomenal job. I am so proud of you. Yeah, great job. Great job. You are dismissed. You can go ahead and go to class. If you need a pass, I can. I don't know. Well, thank you so much, Camila. Goodness gracious, my team is amazing. So the kids are the ones who found out what the issue is. It wasn't me. You know, they always figure things out. I'm just kind of here. Anyway, but yeah, I love for you to keep sharing. Share what your tools like.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I can share my screen.
Okay. Okay. Do you have access?
Feature best on the computer. Let me see window. Yeah, there we go.
Awesome.
Let me see if you see something.
All right, I'll let you know.
Let me see.
I see here. Because we got it on two screens. How many can we do it at one time? Let me add to stage. There we go.
There we go. So I've actually selected the student. So when you start Evolytes, you go through an onboarding, which is actually a placement test. I'm not going to go through that because it takes 5 to 10 minutes, and I know we're kind of short on time. But the funny thing is we've had educational experts go through this, and they have no idea they're going through a scaffolded placement test, which kind of gives us an idea of where they're at. But again, this is completely individualized. We have 6 psychological principles underpinning the platform.
Until the target bell sounds.
And so the game itself, it's an adventure-based universe. I've selected one of our 4 main characters. This is Lucas, and he actually has 1 Evolyte that we start with, but I've already caught a couple here. I'm going to go straight here, and we go straight for a match. I actually have the tool in Icelandic. Sorry about that, guys. You'll have to bear with me, but it doesn't require a lot of reading comprehension. But here, we have a match against an opponent, and we're seeing who has trained the most. And I go ahead and I get an individualized math question in real time. And these questions are comparable or similar to the math questions they get in books or in other environments. The reason for that is generalizability. There are a lot of educational tools there that try and make math very interesting, tackle it from different areas. And in those earliest years, having a good number sense and tackling problems that are similar to what they're going to be talking at school during their evaluation is very important. So we have a bunch of exercises, but no matter what they want to do in the game itself, they're going to be answering math questions. So it's all about this big universe that we've created for them. They go through a character-driven narrative. So they go through the story. But another key element around the game is the fact that it's never over. We're constantly updating it. And if you answer something incorrectly, the algorithm is going to kick in and try and make things easier. This here is a student in 2nd grade that got everything wrong on his placement test. So we're just going back to basics. I couldn't do the multi-count. So I'm going to some very simple counting here because I see that there are some gaps there or something that they need to focus on. So we do use two theories for the individualization. We don't use AI. There are a couple of reasons for it. Me and Andrea, we connected over that at the GSV, if my memory is correct, coming from an AI background myself. But we use flow theory to find that perfect difficulty level to get students maximally engaged and to practice as much as possible. About 80% of the time, give or take, they will get questions that we know they're pretty confident in, or actually are absolutely certain that they will get right. And about 10% of the time, they're getting answers or answering questions that are difficult for them, and another 10% something that's very difficult or even novel in nature. And this actually works perfectly with another theory from cognitive psychology called spacing effect, where we space practice over longer periods of time. But the goal of the game itself, it plays a lot like Stardew Valley, My Little Pony, Pokemon, and the games that the kids actually like to play with in their own free time and the brands that they interact with. And their goal is to make their animals stronger, befriending new animals, help each other out, and all sorts of adventure that go through there. And as you progress, the animals get stronger, they get new abilities. And I think now, Siggi, I think I'm correct. We're adding what, the fourth or fifth island now?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the count for the kids. So like the way, because I set the islands, I put them together, a bunch of puzzle pieces, you drag each individual flower and bush and tree into place. So I count them my way and the kids count their way. So according to the kids count, we're adding like the 8th island because we split them down into like areas. But if you're talking like geographical landmass, then we're adding like, the north part of the 2nd island. So, but like I kind of like the kids count better because it makes it sound like we have way more going on, I mean, these are huge areas, so there's plenty to look at, but like, I don't know, just higher numbers, it feels nicer,
Yeah, and at the end of the day, this is all developed to give the students the practice they need to succeed early on. And we've been doing, we're pretty international, although we have a small footprint in the US. We've seen some phenomenal results in some of the most remote regions of India, for example, where students used it at home, where 60% of students used it actively in their own free time by their own volition and met usage benchmarks, which is usually 20 to 30 minutes a week. And in those 6 to 8 weeks during the pilot, they doubled their proficiency in basic skills. And that's kind of how it goes. And here we're going through a chess. They actually interact a little bit differently. Here we're just going through counting. I'll go to another account that has something a little bit more elaborate. But here you can try as much as you want. And these are partially randomized based on your responding. But what will also happen is when you scan the QR code and chapters with the books, it will also tell the algorithm what the kids should be working on. And we can highlight that also in our student progress monitor, where the teacher can get really in-depth results about what students are facing, what problem areas, where are they strong, and also which concepts they understood under study when they were introducing them with the books as well. So this blended learning approach has been very, very successful. We even won some international awards because of how good we are at reaching those hard-to-reach learners. So basically, when we want Evolytes to be tested, and the reason we actually exist, what most people don't know, is you can't sell educational tools in Iceland. We are the only exception. And the reason for it is our ability to cater to students that we catered very well to everyone, but in the beginning, they just tried it out with students that everybody had, given up on, or students that were so far behind, nobody thought they would catch up. And we have hundreds of cases where students caught up in 6 to 9 months on average. Sometimes with 2 to 3 years worth of learning gaps. But the universe that we've created, this was a 2nd grade group. Here I'm going to go for the C-level account, which is a 3rd grader. And as you can see, as you progress through the universes and you go further into your learning, both the islands, the animals, everything's going to change. And one of the key aspects of what we do at Evolytes is you can have 2 students start at the same time in Evolytes. They can advance as far as they want in the game. It's completely unlinked to the educational content. So the students will also have something in common. So often what these math tools do is you can't advance until you handle some kind of mathematical phenomena, right? And that doesn't really scale very well for the kids, because the kids that struggle will, still be behind compared to the others game wise, so they won't get the same experiences. With Evolites, everybody will go through the same experiences, given that they go through the same amount of time and practice that they put into the game. And this really creates a very not a competitive spirit, but a collaborative spirit instead. So the kids are helping each other out. They're figuring out, both teaching each other some math, but also, where do you have to go? Where did you find this animal? How did you get into this part of the adventure, and so forth? So this really gives you an idea of how how Evolites looks from a student perspective, if you will. So yeah, I could also go ahead and show you a couple of things on how the platform looks like as a teacher. Is that something you would be interested in, Andrea?
I think that we have really run out of time, and I am so
Yeah.
sorry that we
No,
have.
no problem. I mean, you at least got to see Evolites in action and how it looks for the student, and that's really what's important.
Yeah, and that's the goal, but the goal is worldwide, because now, uh-oh, did I lose you?
Oh, we see you.
Hear me?
We can hear you just fine. Yeah.
Okay. Because now, basically, with this podcast, what has happened, because we have this on YouTube as well. It's on LinkedIn, but it's also on YouTube too. So this can be shared
Phenomenal.
over the world in order to learn a little bit about your company, a little bit about Kansas City Public Schools, and basically how we can all work together within this huge world of ours in order to kind of collaborate and communicate and build better things. So that's what the goal is. So I'm just so thankful that you guys decided, hey, that you said that you could come. I really appreciate that. I know you all are super busy with trying to build your game and actually get it out to the masses all over the world. So I really appreciate your time. Dr. Murphy, I really appreciate your time. I know what you're having to deal with in order to make sure that our elementary students have the best things that they need in order to make the teachers good. You just got a lot on your plate. Along with having one of the most beautiful young boys I've seen ever. It's a lot, but we are here all to educate. It's all about kids, and that's why we do this. We would love to have you all three back again, because what I would like to do is let the kids really take a look at the game and give you some feedback on what kids think, because they are the best feedback. They are brutally honest. I would love to back and let's do it.
They can absolutely change everything. I'll shoot this in super quick at the end. There was a sofa in one of the houses that had to be removed because of an expert student, for instance. We had to change a couch out for 2 chairs because a genius kid figured out how to get stuck in the couch. And I spent 3 days trying to figure out how he got stuck in the couch, and I couldn't do it. So, the only thing we could do was just delete the couch and replace it with 2 chairs. And so, that student will forever live on as an interior decorator for one of our houses. These kids are the best. They can do anything they set their minds to. And it's absolutely just our job to help them soar as high as they can.
Absolutely, Siggles. And I am just loving your name. I'm just going to tell you that.
Well, thank you. I mean, this is sort of a nickname because my full Icelandic name is unpronounceable by 99% of the human population. So, I thought we wouldn't have the kids struggle too much. So just keeping it simple and keeping it nice. But there's a lot of rolling R's in Icelandic. So, and they're a bit hard on the American tongue. So.
How do you say your name?
So my full Icelandic name would be Sigurður Gunnar Magnússon.
You sure right?
Yeah. Just keeps it a bit simpler and nicer, so everybody's just included.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Well,
I'm the Siggles. But I do want to learn, so I may have to, just go through the video a few times. So next time say it correctly. It may take me a minute. But
I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
Awesome. Well, we
Oh.
appreciate you all coming out, and we will talk to you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your, I guess, evening, right? It's like, what
Yeah.
time? You guys still in Paris?
For me, it's 4:30. Siggi is 3:30 back in Iceland,
Yeah.
where I'm an hour ahead of him.
Okay. All right. So, okay, you're on the London time.
Yeah.
Isn't that the London time? Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you
Yeah,
soon.
Thank
Andrea,
you so much for having
it's-
us.
It's been a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Murphy as well.
We'll
Until
see you.
next time.
All right. Have a good one.
Ciao.